So, you saw the title. I will be working on a second version of my Diesel 10 and an L&YR Class 25. So, just to start off, bit of a weird combo, I know, but both of these are going to be easy. So, that's just going to do them both, just knock them out at the same time. Hopefully shouldn't take long as some. But yeah, just really, I don't think it's going to be that hard. Literally, all I think I have to worry about for these, just Diesel 10, the claw, because I want to redo this. I want to keep this. And what else? There's two things. And the wasp stripes, because yeah, those, I think I can mask those really. I think masking tape is going to make those pretty easy. It'll just be a tedious process. I know that now. And to say this, I don't think I'm going to use this Diesel 10. I want to keep this for now. Taking this off. I'd like to use my childhood Diesel 10. Chassis, I don't know where the chassis went. I looked for it, but I don't think I'm going to paint this. If I do anything, I'm going to paint the wheels black, which should look fine. But yeah, it can share the same chassis. Really no problem with that, but I'm going to use the shell of my old childhood Diesel 10. And actually, oh, that is rough. Yeah, I tried to modify this, and it was not clean. Yeah, this was very early in my life of making customs, yeah. But, I mean, plus being a childhood model, it has its wear. Like, the nose is chipped, like, literally almost every Trackmaster engine with a pointy nose ever. The sides, like, ends of the front are a little, I don't even know the word for this, a little just crunchy, I don't know the word. But I'm thinking I can fix those with a little bit of milliput and sanding, hopefully. And there's like stuff on the roof, but I'm gonna clean that off. Yeah, so I'm not worried about this. It's really just I gotta think of a good claw design, as I want to try and make it a little better than this, and I want to try and make it like my own claw too, something at least a little bigger than this. But yeah, really, I'm not worried about this one. Unlike how this was a complete scratch build. Though, I do love this toaster. Toaster is my child. Yeah. But no, I'm just gonna, let's see, I gotta think, because it's been forever since I made one of these. And really, I'm doing this is going against my code, because as of now, I'm working on like 5 things at once, counting these. But I'm doing this because, you know, the other stuff is not Trackmaster, I can tell you that. Those are gonna come whenever. They might be before this, or after. I'm not sure, but I just want to start something Trackmaster because I'm just feeling it. Been a while since I finished Toaster, and cool. And I just want to start something. I'm rambling on here, but I really just want to start these. Think it might be fun. Yeah. So with that, I don't know. I'm just first thing I gotta do here. I'm just gonna get into it. I gotta take them apart. So real quick, I'm just gonna. And after literally taking apart 2 screws, the rest can just be pulled off. It's that's all. Not much to take apart here. And I just want to express really quickly, worst wheel design ever. I want to take the axle out. I mean, I could pull these off with pliers, but that's probably going to damage the metal. So no, it's staying on there. Yeah. But really, not much to say. But first of all, I gotta start just scraping the old paint off. And yeah, I gotta think here. I'm just gonna start scraping the paint off. I'll do an update after that. But first, I'm gonna start with Diesel 10 and this stuff. So, bad news about that. He shrunk in the wash. I don't know how to fix this. I think I'm gonna be done. Clean. Gonna need a little bit of sanding, but I really gotta sand down this guy now. Nope. There we go. Hey, you can see a bit of the old 9. That's right. There should be paint under this. It's kind of weird. Okay, because this one's painted blue from an old project. like I did an old RWS blue Douglas really early on. So the tender should be blue too. What? Did that like rip off another? I would see it. There's a little bit, but no, that's weird. That's pretty weird. All right, yeah. I don't need to record. I'm gonna, you know. Also, probably don't try and do this. This is a little stupid, but I don't know. I'm just trying. There's a paper, right? I'm trying to scrape it off for a start. Then I'm gonna sand everything smooth. See, now you can see some of the blue from the old one. Okay. This is all gonna need. Ugh, that is some ugly hot glue. Ugh, why did I? That used to work like that. Yeah, I still kind of do, but not as bad. Not as bad. See, I'm being creative. I'm switching up the video style a bit. I'm showing a tiny bit of it. Okay, we're getting there. And then I'm gonna be restoring this and. Oof, okay, that's a little dangerous. Maybe don't. Yeah. Maybe I'll keep doing this. I don't know. So now that I have everything sanded down, you thought, yeah. So I'm just gonna kind of get this over with. This isn't 100% done yet, but I got all the paint off of it. Well, most of the paint off of this guy. You may be seeing a lot of blue. I'm gonna try and scrape more of that off, but I sanded the boiler smooth for one. Just gonna bring that up really quick. And the thing is, the L&YR Class 25 has the same amount of boiler bands as this, so I could have just kept the boiler bands on, but now I gotta remake them, because past me kind of started this without recording, and I just started sanding the top ones off. So now I want to take all the boiler bands off so I can redo them so they all look consistent, but that's future me's problem. But going back to the blue paint, I always sidetrack myself. It was an old video, or an old video that featured this, but this was a like RWS blue Donald. I think I did Douglas as well, but that turned it into something else. So this is just some of the old paint remnants. It needs to be sanded out a bit more, but it's okay, yeah. And I started doing a teeny tiny bit of cutting, and simply with that, I cut off the dome, little whistle back here, and on the front, I cut down the sides of it, so it's here. It's less of the Caledonian kind of curve out at the ends. If you know, I assume people know what I'm talking about. Let me just grab my journal, actually, that's a lot easier. The little curves at the end, you know, these, all the Caledonian engines have, I cut those down so it doesn't have those. Yeah. Because I want to fill it in. I have an idea for that, which should look pretty nice. And I just gotta say, these little snippers, you know, like they work for cutting and stuff, these helped so much. I didn't even use my Dremel. I kind of just went at it and hoped for the best. And, I mean, for this part, it was easy, you know? Yeah, I bought these for something else, actually. I don't know if the video is going to come up before this. I'm not sure. But I'm just going to say I was working on a little kit. So these were to, like, do the little snip for the attached pieces to the board, if anyone knows what I'm talking about. It's like, you get the template, right, with all the bits and pieces, and then you have to snip them off, and then file them, sand them, and then you just put it all together. Yeah, one of those kits, I don't know how else to tell you, but it may be out before this, maybe not, but I want to keep it a bit of a secret, you know? It might be a little fun. It's one of my other interests, you could say. Not trains, yeah. That's all you're going to get. Tender really sanded down. Still some blue, but feeling it's smooth. I'm going to try and go a bit more, but I don't think I need to be too thorough. I'm really hoping, but, you know, sanded it smooth. I really tried. Chassis, I haven't done yet. I don't know if I think I mentioned this, but I did soak these guys in water, which really helped to get the paint and some of the old hot glue, which was like right here, off. So, yeah, soaking things in water kind of helps. Yeah. Now, to move on to Diesel10 real quick, I didn't do much. I just cleaned them up a bit more, and I sanded like I might sand this entire thing smooth, but as you can see, I sanded like the old remnants off here, like filed all that down, so now it's hollow in the middle, if that makes any sense. And I kind of just made everything a lot more cleaner, like run my finger across, I don't feel the old bumps of where the old claw used to be, because the younger me did not smoothen this out well, so that's it for that. And I tried getting the face off of it, like, slowly with a little, like, box cutter. Kind of dangerous. Don't recommend doing it, but I think I need to take a Dremel to this. I don't want to, but yeah. The thing about this is my childhood Diesel 10, right? I'm using this to kind of make something which I think would be pretty nice, you know? Try and give it a good retiring my final. It's just, it's a childhood thing, I have some respect for that, and I don't want to just brutally murder it. If I might be weird for that, I don't know, but I don't want to damage this thing too much. It means something. I want to do something nice. As simple as that. And I don't know, I just don't want to rip the face to shreds, but it looks like that's what I'm gonna have to do. This is gonna need some work, but I think I'm getting a game plan for both of these. I'm kind of chipping away at them slowly, but I'm getting ideas as I go. But this is the main thing, the main first bit. Yeah, I'm just rambling on here. So I'm just gonna move on. Next, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start cutting things down, and just give it a little idea. I'm gonna cut the cab. Actually, I think I might make it open. I'm not 100% sure, but the Class 25s, I could literally just get here, and I have to just make a circle. Make it. It's like James's cab. Pretty similar. I'd have to cut it in that sort of shape, but instead of going all the way back, I'd have to cut the cab about here, and I'm translating this. I'd cut it about here, because they have a kind of weird, funky cab shape. If I'm translating that well, and I'm trying to put James back on the shelf. There we go. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to cut the cab weird. It might be an open cab. If I do that, I'm probably gonna have to make it an open cab. It might look weird with the battery though, which I'm worrying about. But at the same time, I'm thinking that might be a nice vibe. I paint the switch black and stuff, just make it all black so it doesn't stand out too well. That might be kind of cool to see, honestly. I think that might be a nice Trackmaster touch I could get away with. Yeah. And I want to sand the boiler down a bit more. That's going to be one thing. Just kind of make this all more smooth. Really, there isn't too much cutting that's needed. Now, the tender. I might go all out with this. And I might bring... Because I'm just going to say this. The Class 28s, or 25s, they have similar tenders to this, but a lot shorter down. It's this one's this tall, it'd be this tall. So I'm thinking I get a Dremel, cut a line, and file that smooth. I'm not sure. I might just take the slightly lazy route so I don't have to inhale all that dust, But I might cut this down, might not sure. That would be honestly the biggest thing I have to cut for this if I do. Diesel10, I really gotta think. I think I just have to cut off the face. And that should be it, I'm hoping. I might sand this smooth, but I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm deciding how I might want to redo the claw. But I honestly might keep this, but just upgrade it. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'd like to remodel a new claw. That feels right. Move the joints around a bit so they're more accurate to the real Diesel10. A joint right here instead of it just being one here, one here, I don't know. I want to have some fun with this, simply put. But the big thing I want to upgrade is the claw. Make it bigger, kind of, but not huge. But I don't know. I'll get to that when I do the shaping. But for now, I'm just going to do all that cutting and smoothing stuff I'm talking about. So, here we go. Alright. So, quite a fair bit has been done. I'm going to adjust my light here 1 second. There. That's okay. And I did a fair bit. To start with the one I definitely didn't do a lot on, Diesel10. Literally, all I did is just... I'm not even done. I'm going to be real. I just kind of felt like getting this recording started. And to any children in the audience, which is quite likely, I'm sorry about this horror I am holding. Yeah, so, simply put, I wanted to, but I was not able to save this face and keep it. Whoopsie daisy. Yeah, I literally had to cut into the face. And I gotta cut into it more. But for a childhood model that I wanted to keep, no, I couldn't. I couldn't if I wanted to. I mean, maybe I could. People, as I have posted some of the horrors, and I want to talk about this. I kind of made something a little funny midway. Yeah, that it's on screen. Yeah, but some people did tell me I could get a knife or some hacksaws on that. Just do something to do a fine cut. But I don't, I don't have access to that stuff. I'm using my primitive ways. Simple as that. And definitely could have been better, but this is my first time cutting something like this, so I'm just going to do it rough, and I'll make it look nice. I know I'll make it look nice, it's just looks rough right now. Yeah. And I'm just gonna talk about this because honestly, I did a lot with this guy right here. So big thing first. I did some more sanding, but the cab. Well, the cab's really the cab. So it's I decided to go with an open cab to start. Just saying that. And when I put this, if I can get this on, like that, I think it looks really nice actually. It's not finished. Well, right now. I'm gonna use some. I'm just gonna say, Class 25s. They have a weird shape, kind of like the K2 cab. If you know what real Edward looks like, for example, to put it in simple terms, it's like a more tight curve here, then widens out, and then goes all the way to the back here. I'm gonna use Milliput to fill this in because I couldn't cut it in the shape I wanted without having to go further down, if that makes any sense. So I'm just gonna use Milliput, fill it in, then sand it to get it the shape I want, if I'm making sense there, I'm hoping. Yeah. And open in the middle here. Honestly, I like it. It's a nice vibe. You can see the motor, but I have a plan, because I actually might be able to fit a slab of cardboard over this. I mean, the tab here might be exposed, but I can paint that black. Should be fine. Maybe I could even make it like a regulator if I can play the cards right, possibly. But yeah, I'm thinking, put a slab of cardboard over and then do some cab detail. It's pretty shallow, but when the tender's attached, because here's one thing, I use this method. I used it with my Donald and Douglas customs in the past, if anyone's seen this, but so it's not two separate couplings and it's like this long. I drilled the hole where the old pin coupling was and slide it through and bang. Easy as that. And if I can get this back on again, I think it's a really nice distance. Yeah. But with the tender, the cab's not going to be too visible. So even if the cab detailing is shallow, I don't think it's going to matter too much. And third thing, I cut into this a bit because, once again, the L&YR Class 25s have the cabs shorter on the top, or the roof's shorter than the cab, which I like it. I think it's a nice detail. I try not to go too crazy, but I think it looks nice. Yeah. And one more thing. So if I put this on, right? One thing I did, it's not anything massive, but I cut these back a tiny bit, which was a pain because I had to angle my file. It's not perfect. Like, if I can get the light, it's really, really hard to see, but it's kind of a rough cut. But it's hard. It's an illusion, I feel like. I can work with this. I can make it look decent, but it's not a perfect cut. But, okay, I didn't even say what I did. I cut these back. I cut them back to be more flush with the smoke box because it wasn't flush with the Donald smoke box for some reason. It was like further out. But yeah, I definitely like this. It helped. It's a little detail, but I think it had to be done, honestly. And what else? Oh, I cut the funnel off because I'm going to make the funnel slightly taller, I'm thinking. Just slightly. Because here's the thing. I'm going to say this. Me personally, I don't like it when many people extend their funnels. That's how I feel. I mean, do what you want. Do what you want. But I personally don't like it when the funnel's like a lot taller than the locomotive, you know? And it's like, but this funnel, it's just too short, you know? That's just too short. So I'm thinking extend it a tiny bit because the Class 25s did have them taller than the cab. And, you know, of course, there's things where that can work. It's just me personally, I don't like them super tall. That's just my fancy and my style, you know? I just had to say that. That's honestly been on my mind. Yeah, once again, not talking down about anyone who does, just, you know, that's how I do it myself. Yeah. Alright, now, I'm losing my breath. To the tender. The big thing about this tender. I cut it. Yeah. So this was a pain, and probably not necessary, but, I'm kind of putting here. The thing is, why I did this, I need to cut it more, but the tender is too tall. Because the Donald tender, it's too tall. With the 25, it's like a lot shallower. Like, I want it to be like around this height, a little taller, mainly. But I want to keep the curve in the back and stuff. And the cool details the main reason. I could make the curve myself easy in the back. But I wanted to keep the coal. So I opted for, instead of just cutting the entire thing off and building my own, I'm just going to kind of shave this off, then put this down to the height I want. And that was a pain to cut. Because I had to go inside, and I had to like cut around the things that hold in the wheels, and I didn't mean to, but this thing accidentally cut this thing off, and I thought it would be a pain, but no, actually it's gonna be pretty easy. I gotta file the inside down a bit, but what I can do, I can just slide it in if I can get that. and I'll just re-glue it. It'll be fine. Yeah, I thought around that. And with that is the main bit of cutting. Apart from this guy, but, you know, I'm going to get to that. Yeah, so with that, now I'm just going to start with the shaping. And that's going to be the big thing. Like, for Diesel10, of course, I'm going to get the front going. And I'm going to fill this in with Milliput. Now that I have actual good modeling clay. Thanks to my friends that recommended that to me. You know who you are. But as for the claw, I don't know which way I'm going to go. I think I might just repurpose this claw, but make a new pinchy that actually looks a little, like, better. I might just reuse the claw. I don't even know. I'm just going to see, because, honestly, I'm kind of proud of this, and another side of me just doesn't want to make another claw. So, either way, claw, I don't know yet. But as for this, I'm not going to do too much shaping, really. I'm more just... The reason why I'm making this is because I just want to do a repaint. Honestly, that's the main reason. I'm fine with Diesel10. You know, I like how he looks. I like how the model looks a lot, honestly. I will modify some stuff, but just the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to have a painted model along with anything else. Because I feel like it'll be a little weird to have, like, let's say... No, let's say toaster, for example, yeah. And you have just a glossy stock model right next to him. I feel like it's going to look a little out of place. But no, when both models are painted, for example, I think they fit in a lot better together. So I just want to repaint Diesel10, really. I'm going all out. But I just want to repaint them and give it just that painted kind of matte look I do, you know? And honestly, hardest part about that, I can't find any good paints. I don't know if any of these even are going to work for this, but I've asked online. I have, as of now, 1,000 followers on Twitter. But as you know, if you have 1,000 followers, you will not get a single reply when asking a question. You know, yeah, that's how Twitter works. Yeah. But no, simply put, paint shade is pretty tough to find for this guy. I'd prefer to get something as close to this as possible, but I may have to just compromise. Yeah, I don't know. I'll work with this. I'm perfectly fine with it. And with that, really, I'm just gonna get to the shaping. Not much to say, so I'm gonna start talking. Here we go. And with a lot of procrastination, here's the shaping. So, this is weird for me, because I'm just going to say I procrastinated quite a lot, but it hasn't been that long. One thing that allows that is that this was actually pretty easy, unlike how my past few projects have been like complete scratch builds, major modifications. While these, yeah, I think I did something neat with them. This was quite manageable. So... But this has been a breath of fresh air, definitely. So, let's see. Let's do the Class25 first. How about that out of the lineup? So, here is the general shape to start. Now, I'm trying to think of what to say. First, I don't know if I went over this, but I did the... Oh yeah, I did, but I did the little tender coupling I did for my Donald and Douglas, and I think that adds a nice gap in between. So I'm going to uncouple this and go over the much simpler tender first. So, the tender. Literally, only modification I did, as you saw in the last clip, I split the top in half, just took it off. But here it is back on. As of now, I have it glued back on in places, but what mainly holds it is Milliput. The saving thing of this entire project, especially the Diesel, because making a smooth shape with like cardboard and that would be a nightmare. So Milliput is very nice to have now, I can definitely say that. But for the tender, what I did, of course, if I bring a Donald tender alongside, it's hard to notice, but it's shorter. That's the main thing. Not by a lot, but I think it really, really helps. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. And another thing about it is, it's very hard to notice, but if I can find it, the good old Spider-Man ruler. Here, I'm gonna do centimeters.
this side is just not as tall as this side. Here, if I can get the light, this one is like 2 centimeters. Well, at the very back, it's... Hold on, wait, it's both 2. No, this one's like a notch down from 2. It's okay, yeah, I did not make this subtle. Here it's 2. If I go to the front, it is a notch and a half down from 2. Yeah, so, alright, I'm just gonna say it. The L&YR Class 25's tender has a tiny bit of a slope on the top, and I try to replicate that. I don't think it's gonna show through, but I think it's okay. And I am realizing I forgot to do something. 2 things exactly for the tender specifically. That first one being, like on this, how it curves out. Yeah, like a little slant outward. These tenders have that. I completely forgot. Oh well, I'm just gonna do that before I start painting, I think. I do not want to do that right now. It is late at night. Yeah, but... So just imagine there's a little, like, slant out at the top. Like, maybe right here and there. If... It's just a little detail, but I'm gonna add it later. I'm talking about the tender for a while. And yeah, one thing with this video, I am trying to go faster. Not faster, but not take as long, so it's not an hour. Which, I mean, some people seem to have liked the hour, but the hour and 17 minutes of the last video. But it is a pain to upload, because I'm doing this on my phone. So I want to try and keep this at least under 50 minutes, possibly. But yeah, so, you know what, that's the thing with my videos. I really hope people don't get bored, you know? I mean, these could be work. I like input, and a lot of people say they put it on as audio, which is nice. But for the people who do watch this, do you get bored? Really, just tell me in the comments or whatever. Do you get bored? And to anyone who does get bored, I think I have something that can help with that. So don't worry about that. But yeah, putting that to the side, I'm going to talk about the 25's main shell. So, big thing. This box right here, they have that. I don't know what it's for. If I had to guess, it's maybe a utility toolbox? I could be wrong, but that's my guess. I don't know. But I like them. I think they look really nice. Like a little extension of the cab. So I was excited to do that. Yeah, that's pretty simple. Now the cab. So I have the little cut, right? But I used milliput to complete the slope. And I think it looks super nice from some angles. Yeah, very nice. And on the back, I added a little board because I was thinking about letting the motor show, but no, I was able to just cover it up. And also, I might do a little trick with the switch and maybe make like a little throttle regulator thing. That might be cool. And I might put a floor in too, see if I can fit that, but I'm not sure. It might not matter. I don't know. And, let's see. I'm going to talk about some of the milliput, continuing on that. So, smoke box, you can take it off. It's held on with blue tack for now. I cut the little sides off if I didn't talk about that. The sides that kind of split out on the Caledonian engines. I'm pretty sure I talked about that, but I cut it down to be more straight. And filled in the milliput so it would be smooth, if that makes any sense. On this side, I see now it chipped off a bit in the front. But that's easy. I just got to add a little bit more milliput in that spot. But overall, this is kind of what it's going to look like. Now, for the funnel and dome, those were a total nightmare. Funnel, not that hard. Just cut underneath. Then filled it with milliput. And because I was able to just grab the funnel undamaged. Then I extended it from the bottom, made a little tube. Let that dry. Then I started cutting it down to the desired height. And when I got it to something I liked, I just glued it on. And... So I talked about how I don't like super tall funnels, but I think I was able to find a good middle ground that I'm happy with. It's taller, but it's not super short. Yeah. And now the biggest nightmare of this, the dome. You do not understand how big of a pain the dome was to make. Like, it took me multiple tries, if I can find it. I have 2 of the domes I tried to make, right? If I can grab it. So these are both domes I tried to make out of this, but they were too big. Even when I tried cutting them down a bit. I tried using a tip of a, not this one, but a tip of a paintbrush, but that was too big. So ultimately, I still cut this down and shaped it myself. I didn't like do a mold, which I maybe should have done, but I based it off the size of an Edward one, as I think that would actually work pretty well for what I'm trying to go for. And yeah, I think it works pretty well. I'm happy with that. But just this was a big pain. And with that stuff, I'll talk about this little nub, because the whistle's all the way up here. Yeah, so that is a bit of milliput. Just a teeny bit. But here's something. With this project, I've been using super glue in bits and pieces. Mainly for Diesel10, but I'll get to that. With this one specifically, I use it to glue this on. And I just want to say, super glue has been a massive pain. Like, I have a bit on my fingers right now. I had like 3 packets, right? 3 little, tiny little super glues. They were cheap, but they're strong and they get it done. Every single one of them has glued themselves shut in some way. So, it's been helpful for the tiny pieces. I'll give super glue that, but I hate working with it. Yeah. But another thing on the topic of glue, I'm trying to be a lot neater with my glue, like removing glue marks. Like these boxes, they're hot glue, but I tried to keep the hot glue little lines, edges. I tried to keep all the hot glue on the inside so it wouldn't be visible when I painted. I'm trying to make things a bit neater. And on the little sandboxes, I filled those out because there's a little chunk missing if I were just to leave them. That's the main thing for that. So, with that, this is pretty much it for the shaping, apart from the tender, which I will get to when I start painting. And I just want to say, one big thing about this was, I did not want this to look like just another Donald or Douglas. And while I think it's like just moving away from that, I think I'm happy. I think I was able to make this not look like a Donald or Douglas as much as I could. So I'm happy about that. And one more thing, this right here, I added a boiler band to the front, like last minute, right before I started recording this. I debated redoing the boiler bands for all of them, but no, I'm thinking I'm just going to do the one. The reason for that being is, like I said, I don't want this to look like a Donald or Douglas. And the boiler bands, I don't know why, but I kind of don't like them. They just make the boiler look a little chunky to me. So I don't know, I opted to just keep them off. And I think I'm okay with that, honestly. I'm really okay with that. So moving Douglas back up on the shelf so it doesn't fall. That is it for the Class 25. Now for the big bad guy himself, Diesel10. So ignoring the thing right in front of your face, I want to talk about the small things real quick. And that was mainly just repairing some of the chips. There was a chip right here. I used milliput to fill that in. Because, this is my childhood Diesel10, like I'm saying. There's definitely some wear and tear. Yeah. And here, you got this little... They're big chunks out of the back for both sides. I filled that in a little bit. I think it looks alright. On the front, on the very bottoms, they were a little rough around the edges, so I just filled that and then filed it down. Now, this, I am proud of. I am actually very proud of this and how I got it to keep with the window shape. So, you can talk about how I did this. I got the milliput, right? And I put it to the general shape. I let it dry, but what I did was, as it was getting close to dry, I got, if I can grab it, my box cutter, and just carefully edged out the windows. Like, got the line, like, took the line right here, and carried it over to this, kind of just an estimate. And just as it dried, or when it dried, I got my file and just slowly scraped away on the inside of it until I had the window shape, which I'm very happy about that. It's flush. It is ridiculously flush, which I love. Yeah. And I used a little bit of milliput to repair the top a bit, or some openings. And this thing right here. Now the face. So, it was kind of a bit of a horrifying sight. But I think this looks really nice. I tried to round off the front slightly. I'm not sure if that goes through, but I think it looks pretty nice. Yeah, because my initial thought was, what if I extend the front? Because the Warship Diesels, which is Diesel10 is, had like the cabs I mean, I guess right here, but there's a much more noticeable, like, circle curve. Like, for the front. Like, instead of just being kind of straight out and then down, it would be a ball, if that makes any sense. But I don't want to do that, and I honestly like how Trackmaster Diesel10 looks. So, this is me just saying, no, I don't want to do that, and I like this, so I'm not doing that. Yeah. And filled in the hole right there. But I think it looks nice, because I'm just going to say this now. I'm doing a paper face, because I need emotions on this guy for some stuff I want to do. I'm just bringing him here for reference. I filled in that hole. But yeah, I need emotions, so I'm doing a paper face. I'm going to hopefully have one by the end of this video. I'm going to try. But yeah, I'm not going to do a face that covers the entire thing. Honestly, if I had to, I'd probably do a face that covers only the milliput here. Maybe a little tiny bit smaller. I don't know. I gotta think, because this is the first Diesel in this Customs in the Making. Of course, in like my old videos, Diesel10 has been on the custom list too. But literally out of all my custom videos, Diesel10 has been the only Diesel I've worked on. And I mean, I'm hoping that'll change in the future. I want to work on like Boko, Bear, Salty. So, yeah, but as of now, Diesel10 is literally the first and only Diesel I've worked on in this kind of custom series. Yeah, but I'm liking how he's looking. Not much done, but I think it's nice. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for. No. Alright, so this right here, I made a tiny mistake. Not a functional mistake, but so there was a hole here, right? Like a little indent for where the claw is, like letting it rotate and all that. I filled it in with milliput, not thinking. And I'm just gonna bring this down to, I don't care. I'm not gonna drill this back out and redo that entire shape. I really don't want to do that underneath. I don't want to do that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna paint a black circle to represent that depth, if that makes any sense. So I'm going the cheap way out. I don't care. But now it seems something is missing from this, right? Now, if I can get this ready. So here we have the claw. The claw. Yeah. So here it is. I hope it looks really nice. I put a lot of work into it. Yeah. But nope. Take this little nub off, right? Then stick it onto here. The new claw. So originally I told myself I'm not going to make a new claw. I was happy with this one. But then I thought, no. I'm working on this already. Might as well go all out. And I had some things I wasn't happy with this about, like the weird joint right here. Like at the beginning instead of the middle. And this little thing, it had multiple rotation points where it shouldn't be. I can't really describe it. And, sorry, going off track here. In my adventures of using super glue, I dropped this in super glue. So that's why there's a bunch of white crust. Yeah, that was not fun. And before I show off the claw, just to make the people wait a bit longer, I had a bit of an oopsie when working on this claw. This, which is the original little nub that attached to here, excluding this nub, the black one. Yeah, the gray piece here, that was separate. But what I did, when I dropped this in glue, I dropped this in glue. And it is stuck in there. I cannot move it for the life of me. I tried like soaking it and stuff, but nope, this is officially dead. So out with that. And just, I'm going to stop that. I'm just going to put it on. And I think, so same thing with this. If I ever wanted to do like Class Diesel10, that's easy. And with the little circle right here, that makes it a lot nicer looking, I feel. But I'm going to shut up and just put it on. Boom. I think it looks so nice. So, I'm not going to rotate it first. I'm not going to show the joints. But I'm going to talk about Pinchy. Yeah. So, I was thinking originally that I was going to scratch build one, right? Biggest issue was I didn't know how to do the joint, the opening joint. That, I didn't know how to fit that. Didn't know if I could do it with like Lego or something without it being too bulky. It was just a problem. Then
Eureka, I thought. I'm using Milliput, right? I'm using it a lot as of now. What if I just make Pinchy bigger? I did that, and I think it genuinely makes a massive improvement. Like, it's bulky, and I made sure that it could sit well, and I kind of like it because it doesn't have a spot to sit in anymore, so it's kind of raised above, and I just think it looks super nice. Super nice. Yeah. And if I ever wanted, I could bring it to the back too. It's equal for both sides. Yeah. And let's see. I tried to get the joints right, but first I want to talk about this. So this is like a little hydraulic arm that pitches this part up and down. And there's little like triangles right here and here that attach. I wanted to make those. But for the life of me, could not. With cardboard and with nothing. So I'm slightly cheaping out here. I'm going against my code. And just doing the bar. Which I think it looks nice. Enough. Yeah. But I'm really happy with this. This looks a lot better than I thought it would be. Definitely like a lot more bulky than the old Diesel10. Which I am glad about. I think that it makes it intimidating, I guess. If on camera, that should be. Yeah. Filming purposes, you know. I want to film with this a bit, and I think this is going to help for some little tricks I have in mind. I'm going to talk about this now. So it doesn't have little nubs to grab onto it. One thing I might add while I'm painting is something that I can grab on, so I can lift it up without it just caving out. Yeah. Back on the claw. So see this little thing? I cut this triangle right here, like the actual Diesel10 claw has, and what that does, it allows it to grab things. Because if I bring a normal Pinchy, open it, let's say put this in, if I close it, it just pushes it out. Now, this might be too big, but what the idea is, it has something to grab onto, like wedge it into. So, I think that works pretty well. I think it gets the job done. It's a little wide on the side. I might fix it with Milliput, since I'm already doing some other stuff with Milliput. But overall, I think it'll be okay when painted. Yeah. But now, I think I'm going to show it move. So, first you got the rotation like this, right? And from here you can go up and down. Up, down, up. Yeah, it's easy to rip out. And this black piece right here, what that does, it does a second middle joint of the up and down. See? And then this here, the little the second nub right here, right here, kind of hard to see. You can do side to side, so you can do a full rotation, and if I need to, up and down, which it's got the actual like mobility. I tried to replicate the joints as much as possible, and for the space I had and the bulkiness of Legos, I think I made this look good and work well. Like, see, I need to stiffen it a bit. I have some tricks for it because like it doesn't want to stay in place for all the positions. But I got an idea. I think it should be fine. But, you know, I can pose it. And I think it actually looks really good. Like, yeah, I can do that. And on top of that, I got bored when I was using Milliput, and I made Pinchy a little hat. It looks like he's working in, like, the 1930s. And one of those steam whistles for lunch is about to go off. And he's got a little bowler hat, you could say. Yeah, I'm proud of this. I think it looks really nice. Yeah, this definitely turned out. Oh yeah, that can come off easy. I'm glad I decided to go kind of all out for this instead of just cheaping out using the old one. Yeah, and oh boy, say it ain't so, but this has been a 20-minute clip. So much for me saying that this was meant to be a shorter video. Yeah. Okay. With that, I'm just gonna move on to the painting. And so for the liveries, they're gonna be kind of simple for the most part. Literally, only thing I'm worried about is Diesel10's wasp stripes, but we're gonna get to that when we get to that. Yeah, but for the Class 25, it's just gonna be in a matte black, glossy black smoke box to make a difference. But just matte black paint. I don't think I'm gonna do lining. And for Diesel10, I have to review my options, but maybe something like this. I might have to do some paint mixing, honestly, but because I don't have anything that matches that very shade, and I like that shade. But I might take some creative liberties and do something at the very least similar, or as close as I want to get as close as I can, but we're gonna have to see. So with that, I'm gonna stop talking, and I'm just gonna get to the base coats. Yeah. Well, here we go. All right, and now the base coats are all on. So first, let's go with the L&YR Class 25. And one thing I gotta say, I gotta speed up on this because I'm trying to keep this video at a decent pace, and as of now, it is at 45 minutes. I don't know how that happened, so I'm gonna go kind of quick on these. I don't know, but so for this one, I did a matte black. Like, and for both of these, I might need like 1 or 2 more coats, but for the most part, they or at least look done, and I'm liking them. I had to do some work, like add a little bit of Milliput in the cracks, sand it down so it was a lot more smoother. But I love how this looks, and here, I painted the smoke box in a shiny gloss, and I think it looks really, it might need a bit of work, but I think it looks really good. I might need to paint this in a gloss, that might help it. But I think it's looking pretty good, not much to say. But I had to do some more sanding, really, on this, but that's about it. I think it looks nice. The tender, yeah, I also had to do a lot of sanding. But I added these little flaps, right? I talked about adding something else, and this was it. Yeah, and I think they add... I think they add a lot. And especially now, I think the curve, the slope is a lot more easy to notice. If you look at it for a second, which I'm happy about. Subtle, but you can notice it if you try. That's what I was going for. But yeah, I think the tender actually looks pretty nice. And I did break the rules a bit with this. So I'm trying to use Milliput more, right? But I kind of went back to my old ways and filled a little crack in here and here with hot glue. And I think it looks okay, but I was a little cheap on that. And now, for the dude himself, Diesel10. Now, this shade, well, Diesel10, like I said, the shade's a really hard thing for this. Because I don't know what color Diesel10 even is. I don't know what color to really pick. And I have not made any Hobby Lobby runs for this. So I kind of just had to use what I had as of now. Or, yeah, I would have went to the store if I had to, but I think I'm happy with this shade, honestly. I think it actually works a lot better than I thought it would. But what I used for this was Teddy Bear 10. Yeah, so I bought this paint for a Toby I'm working on, right? And I looked at all my options, and it was the best one. I started, and actually, yeah, it looks pretty good. I think I've seen some, like, other people's models using a bit of a brighter shade, or I gotta look at a photo of his model, but I'm pretty sure his is a lot, or Diesel10's is a lot lighter than it is lighter than the Trackmaster model, but I don't know if it's this exact shade, but I don't know. Either way, whatever I'm saying, I think this is a good shade. I think it surprisingly works pretty well. Yeah. And not much to say. It's a little rough, though. And that's the thing. Like, of course, you can see it didn't apply too well. It's a little clumpy in places. But I think that's going to be okay. Because I plan on weathering this to make it look kind of grimy. So I'm not going to go too overboard with that. But I'm thinking it should hide the impurities. So I'm not worried about that. And I think this looks so smooth. Like, from certain angles, I love how it looks. Yeah, I'm really happy with these. And another thing, I am not taking it out yet, but all the windows, like front and the vents and all that, I masked off with masking tape. The reason for that being specifically for the vents with texture in them. I didn't want the paint to clump on, and when I paint them black, it's just a smooth surface. So I masked everything off so it would go on pretty well. And yeah, I think that's gonna work out pretty well. Yeah. So, with that really does it for the base coats. And now, normally I would say, we're going to do the lining. But no, I'm going to skip straight to the final details for this one. Reason for that being, A, slightly for time, but B, there isn't really much, there's basically no lining, which would be the next step. The only lining for this would be maybe like a gold boiler band right here, and Diesel10's little like wasp stripes, which I'm kind of scared to do. I'm thinking masking tape should help, but yeah, I'm really going to have to think when I'm putting those on. But it should be okay. So that's really it. And apart from that, I'm just going to paint all the details, all the windows, little accents, and I'm going to be painting Pinchy all brown. Yeah. So with that, I'm just going to stop talking. And I'm just going to give everything their final details. And with that, these guys are basically done. I say basically as I'm being a bit cheap here. And these, well, they may look 100% done. I'm still cleaning them. I'm cleaning them up a teeny tiny bit still, so you guys don't gotta worry about that. But yeah, overall they're done, and I just want to get this recording over with, so I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, but no, they're looking really good. I'm really liking them. So first, I'm going to go over the Class25, and I'm gonna do the tender. Yeah. So to start, I printed the decals and I put them on. What I've been doing recently. And I gotta say, I'm not liking this as much as I used to. Like on camera, if you're looking at it with the little covers here, shading it, you can't really see it. But if you look at it from the right angle, you can see how it's just a slab of paper on there. And it's bugging me, honestly. I can't really fix it well. I don't have a method for that yet, but I tried to make it as not noticeable as possible, and it's just, I don't know, I can live with it. But honestly, just printing them out like this, I don't love the look, but it's honestly better than just painting it on by hand, so I don't really care. I don't really care. Yeah, I mean, I think overall it does complete the look a lot. I just hate that I used little stabs of paper, but I think it looks good overall. I don't hate it. Yeah. One thing I'm impressed with, the line between because I cut it in half, right? Or I cut it from the top and lowered this, and then I sanded it with Milliput. It's not as noticeable as I thought. On the back, you can see a little bit of the Milliput, and I should probably sand there more. But overall, you don't see where they meet together. Yeah, hope I'm saying this all right. Yeah, the chassis, really nothing new. I painted the back. I'm going with silver buffers, even though I don't think for LMS liveries of just unlined black, it did silver buffers. But I want to be I'm just gonna go back to this, but gold here. So I'm this liveries with slight creative freedom. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's the tender bits. Now, okay. Now for this, yeah. So really, one place you can see I need to do something is just this. The silver for the handrail leaked down. That's an easy fix, but I ended up going with a gold boiler band. Just one. I didn't do the rest because I just wanted something to kind of break it up a bit. And I think just that little bit of gold really helps. Yeah. Because I said this before, but I didn't want to do the boiler bands because I didn't want this to look like a Donald and Douglas too much. But yeah, I think I'm doing a pretty good job with that. Yeah. I don't regret the choice. If it's looking good. Shoot, I forgot to paint the whistle. That is one thing. So you got the whistle and the two safety valves. Yep. Oh, and also printed number. Yeah, 12045, a real number of one that is no, yeah, it's not the preserved. I think I just did like one number off the preserved one, and yeah, there's just one Class 25, right? And this is just, I think, one number before it. Yeah, nothing too special. I just kind of picked a number, but it'll work. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the LMS number, not the L&YR number. Yeah, I'm going with the company number here. Yeah, I'm rambling. All right. Oh shoot. No, I don't think I'm gonna paint the windows like a gold around them. I don't think I ever plan on doing that. I'm just realizing there's a bit more I forgot to do, but overall they look complete. So silver buffers, black coupling, red front. And I like this a lot. I think this looks really good. Yeah. So oh shoot, that's 4 minutes. Okay, Diesel10 time, yay! All right, and for Diesel10, I am so proud of this. You do not even know. All of these lines. This is possibly the cleanest thing I have ever done. And while it was done with masking tape, I am super proud of this. I spent so long masking off each line to paint. It took forever. And on one of the sides, I had to completely redo it, like all the way when I finished, because I didn't have the right amount of lines. Yeah. But I did record myself taking the first layer off, and I'm just warning you, I'm going to show it, but there are weird Happy Daniel noises. So listen to this, or watch this, whatever. Just watch it. I'm happy in this clip.
Time well spent. Just a teeny tiny bit of time. You know, I was not planning to talk over this, but oof. Oh, that is clean. I thought the masking tape would bleed up, but nope. There's actually like it's near perfect. Okay, seems like I only need to touch up a spot or two, but nothing to worry about. I am very proud of myself right now. Alright, one side down, the next to go. I just need to fix up the bottom of it. I'll maybe post a video to that too. I don't know yet, but look at that. That is so clean. Oh, and it does even out the color a lot. I was worried about how this, the whatever, the base coat and the gray looked a bit pastel and chalky, but this evens it out a ton. And not to mention when I take the masking tape off and properly paint in the windows and vents. I'm very happy. I'm a very happy guy right now. Yeah. All right. That was a lot of work. Yeah. But it looks so good. Yeah, so I am ridiculously proud of how that turned out. Yeah. And okay, moving to this. I did do number plates, whatever they are, they're meant to be painted on, but one thing, it looks better than the printed ones on this. For the main reason of this paint, it kind of sucks, and it's a bit clumpy. So it kind of helps to hide the paper lines, a little lip from far away, yeah. I like that. And the black details, they really help the custom pop, along with the lines, you know. Yeah. One thing I gotta do, it's not too noticeable, but I want to clean up the vents and windows a bit, just to make it all look a bit cleaner. It's okay right now, but I just want to mess with it a teeny tiny bit. Yeah, but I love this thing. It's, compared to Diesel10, not too much done cosmetically, apart from removing the face, filling this in, but I think it is, I'm loving this. First Diesel in the series, or second series, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, but to talk about a mod I did, like, as I was doing this, so below the buffers, I added some milliput. I lowered it down to be flush with this, because on the actual Diesel10, the rear, it just has that little curve up. So filled that in, and I think it looks good. Because with this, I want to try and make it look the same, flipped both ways. And of course, kind of hard to do because there's a gap for the coupling here, but I wanted to get as close as I could. Yeah. And then what else is there to talk about? The buffer bin. So you got red. I did the masking tape for the red, and it was honestly a pain because, you know, you had this part which went out more, so I couldn't mask that right. But I think overall I got it to look really good. On the back, it's just tiny bits. Yeah, I like it a lot. Black buffers. I was messing with the idea of making them silver, but black just, it'll suit this better. Yeah. And finally, I can talk about the roof. So I'm doing a gray roof. I might have already talked about this. I don't think I did. I might have. But no, I'm doing a gray roof. I like it. It got a little chipped because I was messing with Pinchy. Because no clear coat. But that's easy. I'm just going to fix it up a bit. And then it should be good, especially with the clear coat. Shouldn't chip off. Hopefully it's easy. But yeah, honestly, I love how this thing looks. I think I've painted it really well. Not to pat myself on the back, but you know, I think I did pretty good. Yeah. But for Pinchy, I'm not going to show Pinchy yet. Or, oh, that's not on camera. That's all you're going to get. Yeah, I'm going to reveal Pinchy at the end, I feel. I think that would be a bit more fun. Yeah. But with that, all I gotta do now is just do the weathering and clear coat. And a little bit of cleanup, but we're gonna ignore that. Yeah. So,
for the Class 25, really, there's not much weathering I can do, because it'll be coal dust on matte black, and that won't be visible. Maybe a bit on the buffer beam, but, you know, it's... Oh, maybe some... I might do some, like... maybe, like, weathering, like, you can see a bit of the... I don't know, excuse me. I'm gonna mess with some weathering ideas. Maybe. I gotta think about this guy. Because the vibe I'm going for is good condition, but, like, a hard worker. Like, taken care of, but, you know, a very useful engine, that kind of thing. Yeah. And for Diesel10, I'm gonna try my best to make it look like oil's coming out of the vents. Oop, you saw that. Whoopsies. Yeah, I'm gonna try and make it look like oil's coming out of the vents, you know, just grimy all over, and maybe some, like, chips in the paint. Yeah, I'm gonna have some fun with the weathering, but I'm gonna really try and not go too overboard. Yeah. So with that, I'm gonna get to doing both those things. Alright, and with that, all the details I said I needed to still do, the weathering and the clear coat are all done, so just everything's done on this. Yeah. So first, I'm gonna go with the Class 25 here. So, really nothing done in terms of weathering. I tried, but it really was just a cleanup job, like just putting a bit of extra paint where I could see some old stuff, like on top of the tender. Yeah, really nothing. I tried to do coal dust. I don't know why. I always try and put coal dust on it, but it never works. It's just matte black on matte black. Yeah, I don't know. It's just something I do. I cleaned up the chassis and wheels a bit. Yeah, these are looking good. And I have a napkin here because when I was painting them before the clear coat, because it was a matte black, I don't know why, but everything was just sticking to it, making it look gross. Should be fine since it has a clear coat now, but I have the napkin so it wasn't touching my table. I did wipe it off, though, because I'm a lot cleaner than my old custom videos used to be. Just to throw that out there. I take care of my table now. What's this? There's like glue on the table. Oh, well. Yeah. For the chassis, I did a bit of heavy weathering at the back because it's the tender chassis. There's going to be a lot of coal dust there. I think that looks good. And one thing I added, actually, since the cab of the Class 25, I'm just going to shove this in now. It's going to go in here. It's not this, I don't know if I like that, but you see, it's like meant to be a little regulator. I might keep it. I don't hate it. And a little bit of the red chipped off. Great. I'm going to have to repaint that. But, no, I think this would be a fun detail to have, so... I mean, no, I don't hate it. I actually kind of like it. Yeah. But now to talk about the Class 25. Like I said, I tried doing weathering, but no. But I ultimately decided... I know I said I wanted to maybe experiment a bit with different types of weathering, like maybe just a bit of rust or something, but I decided, no, I'm going to have this be a clean engine. Because it's... I'm not going to say this, but... What this engine is for is meant to be a bit of a flagship engine for a certain thing I'm working on. Yeah, more in the future on that, but for now I'm going to be a bit vague. Some of you know, but, you know, all will be revealed, but, you know, this is an OC. So, but I decided ultimately to keep it pretty clean. I might experiment in the future, but for now I like it in this condition. I think that's for the best. Yeah, but for the weathering, I did a little bit of light weathering on the front buffer beam. Nothing too crazy. Yeah. And yeah, I'm glad I went with the silver buffers. I don't think they're accurate, but I already talked about this. They're not too accurate, but this is kind of a lightly freelance livery, mostly based off it's meant to be just an LMS online black. That was the first goal. But then I thought, hey, I should do a gold line at the front to make everything a bit different. And then, gold or silver buffers. Those would look nice. So kind of just my own livery, I guess, at this point, but it's meant to be LMS, just with some mods. There, okay, I'm talking about this way too much. Oh yeah, I added windows too. And I think they add so much to the model, actually. I did my classic, cut out a disc, then paint it. And I think I'm really liking it. I think it looks good. It makes the thing pop a lot more. Yeah. And ultimately, man, I'm really liking this. Yeah. I did a gloss on the running board and a matte for the coat. Or matte for the engine paint, gloss on the running board for black. And the matte coat doesn't show the difference too much, but it's a good subtle thing. I like that a lot. Yeah, I think this turned out great. And really, that's it for the Class 25. Now for the big bad, the chassis. I clear coated the chassis. I just masked the front wheel off because I don't know how to get this off easy without having to get rid of the metal here. I don't know, but I masked the wheels off, but then I sprayed it because I just want to get this one bit right here. I didn't talk about this, but I just painted this. I was thinking about extending it down, but I tried and it looked bad. You'll see it when it's on the chassis, but I don't know, I painted this just to match the color of Diesel10 a bit. Simple as that. Not much to say. And as for Diesel10, I went a little crazy with the weathering. Yeah, and okay, this side looks a lot better. I'm really proud of this, honestly. I tried not to go too overboard with, like, in the past, I've gone a bit overboard with messy weathering, not to name any projects. Lost Treasure Thomas. Yeah, but I wanted to do a lot of weathering, but not too much. And what I went for here, I started with the kind of oil. And what I did, I have weathering powder. I got a little bit of water and try to like soak dab a Q-tip in it and then get some coal dust on there and kind of run it. But it didn't work too well because I don't recommend trying it completely because it made it lay on really thick in a spot for some reason. But it was easy to clean up when I did because I could just dab a Q-tip in water and wipe it away. I don't recommend doing that. But it was a mix of using a little bit of a wet Q-tip with stuff on it and then just using it dry a bit. I mixed techniques a little bit, but I think overall I really got the look I was going for. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but I think it looks pretty good. Like I tried to do a little like marks where it was a bit more intense, and I think it turned out very well. Yeah. One thing is just, I don't know if I should have extended it like along all of Diesel10. I don't know if it, like, there's a lot going on here, but the more you go out, it's just not much is going on. I tried adding a little bit, but I'm not sure if that's going to be a huge problem or not. That's one thing if I ever go back and fix this up a bit. I don't know, maybe not. But as for other details, I tried to add like little paint chips where the paint it was, or where the model was actually chipped, because I don't know if this was obvious, but I'm trying to go for a really kind of run-down look for my Diesel10. Yeah, little paint chip here. I tried to do a little on the bottom, you know, like right here. Just a little scratches. And on the top where the claw is going to go, I went a little heavy there. I also did rust. Yeah, I didn't go crazy with this, but if you look in some spots, there's like a little bit of brown. I tried to mix like brown and orange and just kind of slap it on, then kind of wipe it so it smeared a bit, be a little more subtle. I don't know, I honestly think this was achieved pretty decently. I tried to add a bit of it on the buffer beam. Let's see. You know, I'm realizing I think I forgot to paint the buffers on the back fully. Okay, I don't know if it's too noticeable, but the black or the back buffers need just a little more black on them. I completely forgot about that. Oh boy. Yeah, but a little bit of like kind of rust streak right there, a little bit on the window. I tried to mix it in with the vents in a few places, like right here. And on the top, it's kind of just splotches, like a little right here, a little right here, a bit here. You know, I went for a kind of a rough work look. And genuinely, I really like this. Like, it looked really good, clean. You know, these things really popped. But this suits the vibe I was going for. And honestly, I really, really like it. Yeah. All right. You know, I'm just going to keep moving here. And it's now time for the big part. It is time to finish them. And now I will be putting the Class25 and Diesel10 all together. Here we go. And here they are. Both the Class25 and Diesel10 are all complete. And I am so proud of these guys. Alright, so I'm going to kind of go off what I think's least visually impressive here. And I'm going to go with the 25. If you'd stay there, I'm going to make him visible. Is he just going to roll off? Yeah, he's just going to roll off. There we go. Yeah, so the Class25. I like it a lot. So, as we can see off the bat, it's a little crooked, but no face. I made a smoke box, because I am going to give this guy a face eventually. But for now, I didn't want to have to design the entire thing before this video, because I'm not very good when it comes to making freelance faces just yet. So, for now, smoke box, because this is going to be, I'm just going to say it, this is an OC. This is going to be in featured projects. Some of you may know who this is, but I'm not going to say it directly. And just, yeah, I just got to work on the face, didn't feel like it. So, smoke box door for now. But as for the shape, I really like this. Like, if I get a Donald down, I didn't want this to look like a Donald and Douglas, and I mean, it kind of does. But at the same time, I don't think I did horribly in making it not look like one. The tender's very similar, but there's a bit of a height difference. You know, this one's, it's not as tall, and because I shortened it down, which I'm glad with that. But I also used the same coupling strategy right here and here. Just wriggle during the hole and that, so there's not a super wide gap between the foot plate and tender. I always hate that with these. Yeah, it's just a little thing I'm proud of. And let's see. Really comparing them side by side. Of course, at baseline they look similar, but when you look, I did some stuff different. Like, I cut the smoke box down a bit so it didn't have the Caledonian, like, side plate things, whatever they're called. I made the funnel taller, made a new dome and repositioned it. 3D windows. I gotta revamp these guys one day, actually, because there's a lot of them doing new. Yeah, the whistle. That was a little piece of milliput right here. I like that. Didn't want to make it too tall, so the little nub works. Side rods. One thing I hate about the Donald and Douglas models is that the side plates, whatever they're called, they're so tall, or at least it looks so lowered. Sorry, I just hate it. I really don't like it. But you know, with the side rods on, it's really not bugging me as much. But I mean, with this, where it's really noticeable, they just feel so low. I don't know. But overall, I am very proud of this. Use multiple angles. Yep, pause if you want to see it. Yeah, these models were definitely pretty easy, but at the same time there were some new challenges. But overall I can say, man, I really love how this turned out. I'm proud of it. Yeah, so keeping this kind of short, I've said my piece on this one. And now, to move on to the Breaking Bad himself. Not centered, Diesel10. So, first of all, face. Here's the thing, it's going to need some editing. This isn't done yet. I want to mess with the size a bit, because this does feel a little big. And it's hard to tell, but the shading is kind of weird when you look at it. So, I want to just improve this a bit. I'm going to be working on it for future projects. But for now, I think it's presentable, and I'm happy with that. And I've already talked about the weathering and all that. And really, it's easy to put together. It doesn't have the little clamps here, so it falls out so easily. Yeah. Roof. There isn't much to show with them put together, because just the chassis on. And I opted not to paint the wheels. I really didn't care about that, because they're going to stay gray anyway. I really do love how this turned out. And I'm going to say this for the last time. This is the first diesel in this kind of second Customs in the Making. But no, even in my old custom videos, Diesel10 was really the first and only diesel I've made in them. Yeah. So, a bit of a trend. I'm just saying, I do want to focus on diesels in the future. Just don't know when I'm going to get to them. Like, Mavis, Bear, Boca, all that stuff. But now, starting with Diesel10. And these are here. I got the claw. So, I think it's time I put it on. Ta-da! Seriously, Diesel10 looks like bald without the claw. But I'm super proud of this. Actually, like, I'm gonna give some views. I'll do a little spin. Like, Jenny, I am so proud of this. Like, and like I said, this was done by masking tape, but the stripes, I was so worried about those when this is the one I clipped down. I was so worried about those when I first started making this. Like, I was like, oh, how am I gonna do it? What if the masking tape, what if the paint bleeds? But no, it's actually perfect. And yeah, I really like the weathering too. I might update it in future, like do a bit in the front and back so the middle doesn't feel the middle feels cluttered, but the more you go out, it feels empty almost. I want to try and even that out in the future maybe. But back to the claw, it is a huge improvement. I used the claw from my old Diesel10 right here. I remember this fell in super glue, that's why it's white. Yeah, this is the old one, and the joints were just so weird. But with this one, it's actually got proper motion. Look,
Oh, it's like I can open the claw. Of course, this it can move if I want it to. That's not accurate. It's meant so it can turn side to side. But genuinely, it's got all the motions the actual Diesel10 has. So I'm proud of this. I am really proud of this. See, this likes to fall off. That's one thing. I gotta fix that up. But overall, I really like this. Like you can pose it. I tried to make it because originally it would just fall down due to weight. But I tried to make it so it'll be stiffened up and I can pose it how I want. I can do something for like tap motor. Yeah. But I am super proud of this, genuinely. Yeah, of course, and I mean, they're really actually easy models. Nothing, it was just me being a bit lazy that these took so long. Moving the camera. Yeah, because, my Hank, my Pure Marquette, my lady model, what did I make last time? I don't remember. Oh, Toaster and Cole. Yeah, those, or my Toaster and my Barclay. People won't know the name. Just for my past bunch of projects, they have been major scratch builds or mods. But with these, they're just light mods, simple stuff. The claw was genuinely fun to make, actually. But yeah, it's nice to kind of sit back and relax with the customs. And I can say for the next 2 projects after this video, for the customs, they're going to be somewhat simple, but still in groups of 2, 3. Yeah, so hopefully they shouldn't take too long, I'm hoping, but, I'm going to start, I'm just going to say it. As for the next couple of projects, I'm going to be chipping away at some OCs and group them together with other characters I've been wanting to make. Like, let's say, Arthur, Ginty, maybe I should revamp my Rosie sometime soon, I'm not sure. Yeah, but super happy with these guys. I'm going to try and keep this somewhat short because I bet it's already over an hour. Yeah. And yeah. Oh, shoot, face is falling off. So, I'll pose this. This is my custom Diesel10 and L&YR Class 25. That's really all I have to say. I hope you all like them. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.